everybody, and welcome to another episode of Nerds at the Round Table, a talk show where Jack and I discuss pretty much anything that's going on in gaming or nerd culture. As always, this is Jack Rooney. And myself, I am Fred Sullivan. And this is episode 55, if you didn't know, Jack.
Shoot.
Yeah, so...
I'm trying to curse less. Apparently that's a thing now. Because normally I would just curse right out the gate like I normally do.
Is somebody saying something about that?
No, I just, for some reason, decided to censor myself in that moment. Maybe because we're talking about the next door kid who is, like, slamming his face into the wall.
I don't think
sorry if you can hear that, everybody.
Yeah. But you said it beforehand as a joke, but sorry in advance if you hear stampeding elephants behind us.
Oh, yeah.
As there's just apparently either a mob of children running around upstairs, or there's literally just a bunch of wild animals going at it.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Yeah. I mean, they should take care of that.
They really should. And it's not the first time, but we have to record. It is Sunday. I'm trying to put this up by tomorrow, so we're gonna see what happens.
Gotta get it all done.
Yes. Anyway, so let's start off with what have you been playing, or what have you been watching?
So, I hadn't even thought about what I've been watching. You shock me with your interesting questions.
Ooh.
No, I haven't really been watching anything interesting.
Oh, okay.
I went and saw Finding Dory.
Oh, yeah? How was it?
I mean, okay, a lot of people really loved it. Yeah, a lot of people really loved it. I didn't think it was as good as the first one. And I don't really like the character Dory that much. I find her kind of annoying. But it was still a good movie, you know?
Pixar can't really do anything wrong.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, like, you know, it's still not great. It's going to be good, you know?
Yeah.
And then I also went and saw Coldplay last night.
Oh, yeah? How did that go?
That was a good time.
Yeah?
Yeah, I mean, so I think there's like a rule where if you can be together as a band long enough, you'll eventually figure out how to put on a good show. Almost no matter what else happens, it'll be like a good show.
One would assume.
Yeah, so like whether, you know, like I like a lot of Coldplay music, but like it was a really good show, like objectively, and then them playing some of my favorite songs like Paradise, like Viva La Vida, some other niche stuff that people don't know as much, but still like very popular songs for their fans, it was a really good time.
Okay.
And let's see, as far as playing, I think you and I have both been playing a lot of Pokemon Go.
Yeah. So you can say that is a game, I guess.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I've been playing it. I guess it is a game in some sort. But outside of that, I've been playing a lot of Overwatch.
Yeah.
So Overwatch, as per usual. I've also been going back to MLB The Show, just needed to go back to something because I didn't have anything single player wise to play anymore.
Have you played Fury?
I watched Dave play it a little bit.
It's a pretty good game. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It's like it can be very challenging. I don't know what it looked like when Dave was playing it, but like
the thing is that Dave is constantly on the attack.
Yeah.
And I feel like in that game that you have to be a little bit more decisive in your attacks and when to attack.
It kind of depends. Yeah.
And he's just attack, dodge, attack.
How far did he get?
It was the first boss.
Okay. Because like, so the first boss I had no problem with. I thought it was actually a tutorial for a while. I was like, and then I realized like I wasn't fully understanding what the game was about, and that there is no tutorial. It's just boss fights the whole time.
Boop. There you go.
And I got pretty deep into the game, maybe to like the 6th or 7th boss probably, and it's a lot of fun. It is like shockingly fun, and each boss is kind of like a puzzle. There is some stuff that I think is like, I don't want to say poor design, maybe intentionally difficult design to master. Like when you get to certain bosses, it seems like they do attacks that are like pretty much impossible to avoid.
To do anything against, yeah.
But like, I'm sure there's a way. I just like the great thing about the game is that it is a puzzle and that you're trying to figure out how to beat the boss's combos, how to like adjust to their attacks, and it's an action game in that you're trying to like do the most damage before they can do like damage to you, because each like you can run out of stamina 3 times and you have to get them to run out of stamina like 4 times, you know?
Okay.
Or 5 times. And every time someone runs out, the other person gets all of theirs back. And like the round restarts. Or if you beat the boss's like stamina, then like you move on to the next round, basically.
That's a bit weird.
It's interesting. It's kind of so it leads to these really frustrating moments where you're like, oh man, I destroyed them in this round. They're down to like just their like, so they have an armor set of life. It's really hard. You have to play this game, and it's free on PlayStation Plus. So just do it.
Yeah, I didn't play it, but
I'm gonna do my best to
watched
describe it here, but it's gonna be a little confusing if you don't.
Don't go too inside.
I'm not gonna try to, but like, so they have like 5, we'll say lives, right? And
Okay.
each like on each life they're gonna do a different thing. Like they're gonna do different sets of attacks, and as you get like deeper into the fight, they're gonna do harder and harder combinations.
Okay.
And each life is comprised of like basically a bar of energy, and then like a second bar of energy under it. So you have to beat the first bar, and then it goes into like a basically like it takes this arena that you've been fighting in, and it you can only go like it brings it into a much more personal fight, where you can only be like 10 feet away from the other combatant at any given time. So it basically you're stuck in this ring around each other.
Okay.
And like then it's kind of a different fight because it's not like dodging and shooting anymore. It's all just the sword combat, and then you have to like beat that life bar. And like once you do that, then you get to move on to the next round. It's complicated. It's really fun. I highly recommend it.
All right. Well, if you are all still here,
Yeah.
That was a very.
It's a very complicated game.
Yeah, it's still in depth, even though it
Sure.
was very top layer.
Yeah.
It's still very, very in depth. But,
Yeah.
so Overwatch, that
Oh,
I didn't
yeah.
get to play Fury. I still have to do that. And Pokemon Go. That's pretty much it. But as far as I've been watching, I'm watching a little bit of Archer.
Yeah.
It's kind of like background noise more than anything, though.
Yeah, Archer. I mean, like, Archer's a really great show. Pretty much 100% of the time. But it's not a show that really like holds my attention anymore. Like Rick and Morty, I would just watch Rick and Morty.
Yeah.
Like no matter like I wouldn't want anything to be distracting me from
Exactly.
Rick and Morty. Whereas Archer, it's kind of like, I mean, I could do some other things while I watch Archer.
It's because you don't really have to watch what's going
Exactly.
on. It's just all about the interactions between the
Yeah, the
characters.
jokes and the timing, and like when action stuff's happening, it's just kind of like, oh, action things are happening.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's nothing major.
Yeah.
There is some physical comedy in it, but not a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there was that. Ballers comes back today. I don't know if anybody likes Ballers, but I'm watching Ballers, so I'm going to watch that.
Yeah.
I love The Rock. So,
Yeah.
can do no wrong for me.
The highest paid actor like ever now or something.
Yeah, in Hollywood right now.
Okay.
64.5 mil or something like that.
That's not bad.
Not shabby.
Not bad.
Man works like a dog though.
Yeah.
He's constantly working. But
Working or working out or both?
both.
Yeah.
I mean, have you seen that guy? He literally is one giant muscle. Just one giant one. But anyway, we should probably get into the news now that it's been. I can't even tell how long as we're using a different recording software.
Oh man. You should figure that out.
It looks really complicated.
Well, just because I feel like we're gonna need to know. Anyway, let's get this news going. So the first thing, we were just talking about the fact that we were playing Pokemon Go.
Yeah, Pokemon. It's
what
something.
what level are you?
I am level 18 right now.
I think I'm 15. Who and your strongest? I think we were talking is one of the EV trio.
It's I think
Everybody else.
Yeah, it's pretty much
fucking
like
everybody else.
every time you look at it, it's always at the top of a gym. It's like an EV evolution or like a Snorlax.
Yeah, I've seen a Snorlax and I've seen Lapras.
Lapras too. Yeah. It's basically whatever comes out of that 10-kilometer egg, and whatever
is that,
evolution.
that's pretty much it, right? But like the thing is, I don't understand how, and maybe this is too inside baseball, but like I don't understand how people are powering those things up. But I guess there's single evolution, and you get a bunch of candy for. This is too inside baseball.
Well, the thing is, once you hatch something, you get 15 candy.
That's what I'm saying. You get a bunch of candy, so maybe they're just immediately using that because they're single evolution. Like you don't have to worry about saving for evolutions.
Yeah,
So,
like I have 2 Taurus and a 15
yeah,
candy or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't plan on using them, but one of them has Earthquake.
You have it. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
one of them does have Earthquake, but he's weak as shit.
I found that like ever since I started, once I realized that the EV trio was like the top.
It's pretty much top tier right now.
Top tier. I'm thinking more about the fact that like I need to find more ground based Pokemon for the Flareons and the Jolteons.
Yeah.
And then because I have a pretty good Jolteon that could destroy an Vaporeon.
Mhm.
But like if it's either of the other two, I'm just straight fucked. Like
Yeah. I mean, if you don't have a Vaporeon yet, right?
No, I guess I do, but like I would have to organize it properly, and I feel like I don't always have the best option for that because I have one super strong Pokemon, and then everything else is at least like 200 CP lower.
Yeah,
So it's like
right there.
that's the issue I'm running into.
But yeah. Anyway, Pokemon Go is a rousing success.
Yeah,
And he
it's-
said arousing.
Arousing success. Certainly for at least one of us. I was gonna say raving success, but
Raving
that's,
success
yours
is
is
also a good
fine
one,
too. A lot of good words you could use. Anyway, no. I heard on the first or second day, I heard that the Nintendo stock had jumped up 20 something percent.
Yeah, it's the last time I read it was like 70%.
Yeah, so it's probably gone up since that. But that was on the second day alone, I guess.
Yeah, well, as of 2 days ago, I think they're releasing an additional 26 countries.
Ugh.
And the craziest thing, they haven't released in any Asian countries yet.
Yeah, that is surprising. Not even Japan, right?
No, not yet.
Which is like nonsense to
Well,
me.
so the reason being is because the company that makes it is based out of San Francisco.
Sure, but
so
I
it's
mean, like,
American-based.
you would have thought it would be like U.S., Japan, and then everyone else afterwards.
First one was freaking Australia.
Yeah, like New Zealand or something. Yeah.
What the shit is that?
And I guess that's like your beta market. Like, let them
like test out the market.
out the servers, you know?
But don't worry, the servers are always shit.
Yeah, they were terrible that for the first couple days that we had access to it. And then I guess the day that they opened up the European servers or whatever,
It broke again.
But it seems to be functioning just fine now.
Yeah.
Only a couple days after that, which is, like, all things considered, better than most online releases that we've seen even on consoles these days.
It's a quicker repair because I'm sure they're probably like, the amount of money that they're making right now,
Yeah.
they're probably like, well, we could probably get these done faster.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure they'd put that like it was a high priority thing.
Most likely. One would assume, at
Yeah.
least. I mean, obviously Nintendo is making bank off of it, so they're probably pushing the envelope to make sure that this game is functioning. But there's still some things broken about it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like every once in a while, Pokemon just won't be captured. Every once in a while, the game will. I mean, I say every once in a while. At least like once every other play session, it'll freeze.
It
at
freezes
some
a lot.
point.
Yeah. It basically right now the biggest troubles as of when this podcast is being recorded on a Sunday, the game's distance tracker is not working at all.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to be.
No, it's always 3 footsteps no matter how far away
Yeah.
you are. But the only way they can really test to see how far away from it you are from it is depending as to where it's located on the 9x9, the 3x3 graph.
Yeah, yeah. So if it's the first one, then you're
You're
much
close
closer
to
that
it,
one.
but you
Yeah.
still don't know how close you are.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's,
Okay, so here's all of this like leads to my first real question about this game, which is like if any other game had this many fucking problems, would you still play it?
so it's the thing is, man, is that it's striking everyone right in the nostalgia.
Yeah, no, but
Right
that's
in
what I'm
it.
saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. But
Tickling
if
it,
there was, if it was any other
groping
game, if
Grabbing
if there was any
I
other
got
game
real
that
weird.
was this busted, like I wouldn't touch it.
it. No, it's like this is the thing
Because
that
it's
we.
extremely frustrating.
This is the thing that we always talk about with console games. And
Yeah.
when they come out and they're constantly broken, like anything that has online multiplayer is just fucking broken.
Super. Well, I mean, I think Overwatch was fine, right?
Overwatch was good.
There are certain companies that do
But
it.
you would
right.
expect that because they performed so many
lot of
betas and
betas.
alphas
Yeah,
that they
yeah,
were like,
that's true.
well, we're making sure this game's going to function. There were
That's
still
true.
problems,
Yeah.
but nothing major. They fixed them within like a day or two.
Yeah.
But there's been issues with this underlying since the beginning.
Yeah. Like I don't know. I mean, it's clear that like it's clear that it's not a terribly good game, and like it bugs me that I don't have access to, and I know that's part of the game, but I don't have access to probably like a majority of the Pokemon.
Yeah, you have to travel to different states and cities.
Exactly, and that's
Which
just
is
not.
ridiculous.
I mean, that's like maybe a good way to increase longevity because like every time someone goes anywhere, they're looking for new Pokemon, and they don't like have it all within the first 2 weeks, and then they're done with the game.
It's true.
I get that, but it's for someone who is a completionist I consume games. I don't just like occasionally casually play games.
Correct.
I
understand
like to finish games.
Yep.
That is a very frustrating thing for me. But like I think it's also clear that we're not the audience for this.
No, well, you have to look at it in this way. We're not really the not pay to play, but the free to play with in-app purchases kind of players.
We're not that audience, yeah.
No.
And like even down to the gameplay mechanic level, like catching Pokemon is fine. It can be really frustrating sometimes because I'll usually get like nice or great throws and they'll just still fail. And like that's
Always.
when that is the only mechanic. Like you can't really weaken them. You can give them a berry or something, but like
It makes them happy.
yeah, I guess like the thing is like you're not battling to capture these Pokemons like you are in the actual Pokemon.
Pokemons. You're speaking like my parents. Pokemans.
You like them Pokemans, right? No, but you're not.
Hey,
Like,
son, I got you these Pokemon cards.
you're not battling to
Thanks,
weaken
Dad.
them.
They're Pokemon. But okay.
You're not battling to weaken them. Even in gym battles where you're supposed to be like battling Pokemon on Pokemon, it doesn't really take as much. It doesn't take any active skill or like adjusting of a strategy. It's mostly just like you're like beforehand you're like, oh, that's a fire type, I'm gonna put my water type up front, and the game even auto organizes it for you like ahead of time.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like you don't even really need to think that hard about it.
So the thing is that there's some people that have apparently like found ways to beat higher CP opponents with like those of like half the CP of the people that they're fighting.
By actually like dodging and stuff?
Dodging and attacking. And
okay.
like that.
Because like early on, like the word was don't even bother.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's everyone. You kind of have to go through and figure out exactly what it is that you have to do with the game. There is a dodge feature to it, which allows you to dodge a lot of the attacks. But the thing is that like, especially with some of the slower Pokemon, like you're hitting like the regular attack button, and it feels like you are just in that motion forever.
Yeah, you're just tapping.
Pidgey all the time.
Yeah,
but you get something like a quick attack or something like that, and it's real quick, and you get your attack back, and you're getting your super, and maybe it's something like that.
Dodge. Yeah, sure.
Maybe maybe it could just be that you can dodge in the middle of an attack, and maybe you just can't see it because the animation is so slow.
Well, that's the thing. So they don't really, and that was one of my biggest complaints about the game when it first started was that they don't really tell you much about what you're supposed to do or how to play. They don't really tell you how dodging works. They're not like, a lot of games when they have a dodge thing, they take you through a tutorial and they're like, this is the right time to dodge. Yeah. Or like this little exclamation point appears and like that's when you dodge, or like whatever the case is. And like I wouldn't even mind if it was on both sides, like if the enemy could dodge my attacks and I could dodge their attacks. But it seems like as of right now, it's like it's not even who can tap faster. It's basically just a numbers game.
Yeah,
like before you even fight.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the thing is a lot of the times that you'll get like stuck. Like if you get past like the first Pokemon, and then you're still stuck with that one. The Pokemon that you're using to fight the first one, and the process of transferring in that game, like switching your Pokemon, is so long that the Pokemon that you bring out is just getting walloped.
Yeah, so it's to me it's annoying because it's almost like it could have been any game. It could have been any franchise.
No.
And it's only popular because it's Pokemon, which is totally fine because it's pretty much what I expected.
Like I said, right in the nostalgia.
Yeah, but like there's very little that is Pokemon about it.
Oh yeah, no.
In a lot of ways.
It's just capturing Pokemon, and they made it into a mobile game that you can just go through and everyone can get into.
Yeah.
You just flick your finger and you catch a Pokemon. And it gets people that really haven't been in the Pokemon series for years now back into it, feeling that like, oh man, I remember this series. Like this brings back memories, and it's something just that you can play very casually on the go. You can sit on a train on your way to work and catch things.
I think to me, what was frustrating about it was the fact that like when I first booted up this game, they gave me a starter Pokemon, and I thought that starter was going to matter. And it was very clear almost immediately after I got that starter that it wasn't going to matter at all.
Nope.
And I thought, wouldn't like a better way to go about it? You have those 2 attacks, right? For each Pokemon has 2 attacks. Like, wouldn't it be better if like you were weakening a Pokemon that you were fighting against, and you only had access to those 2 attacks? Like, and it wasn't. I thought it would be turn based, and like you would do a thing, and the wild Pokemon would do a thing, and then like there's nothing. Like Pokemon's a pretty light RPG, but there's nothing RPG about this at all.
No, it's just a mobile game.
Yeah, and so I don't know. I mean, I feel like I'm excited that like more people are talking about Pokemon now than when I was a kid, which is seems crazy to me because that was when it was at its height. But like now it's back and it's like bigger.
The thing is, right, is that it went to the right place. Like going to a console is one thing where there's a few million players on there, but you put it on phones.
Everyone
literally
download
has
it for free.
a phone.
Yeah,
exactly. So it was just the right market that they hit, and I mean, Pokemon's bigger now than it's ever been. And the thing is that this game, I mean, it might die down in popularity over time. Yeah. But I don't think this game is going anywhere for a long time.
I mean, that was one of the last things I wanted to talk about. This was like, do you think it has staying power?
Yeah. Reason being is because so right now they're starting with the first generation of Pokemon,
Yeah.
So
we talked about this, yeah.
There are way too many Pokemon.
In the 600s, I think now?
It's 700s, I believe.
Oh, right.
It's a lot. We both could be horribly wrong.
I gotta look.
There's too many Pokemon in this goddamn universe, but the thing is that creates longevity for the game for those players that really like it, and that's going to be how it's going to stay. I think, obviously, starting with Kanto region, perfect. And how many are there?
No, I just think it's funny. I typed in how space M, and the fourth suggestion is how many Pokemon are there? And like that's probably because of my like learned whatever, but that's
Google
still funny.
stalking you,
Yeah.
You know, Niantic did have full access to your Gmail account at the beginning of this.
Yeah, that's.
We're just looking at your sliding into your DMs.
Yeah, like whatever. What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Like any company can essentially do that if they have a popular enough game where you're like, you'll just agree to whatever they put in front of you to play.
Well, the thing is that kind of sucked with it, right? Is that like I did it and we weren't warned about it at all, and then I read an article and I was like, "There's nothing I could do now anyway. It's too late."
Yeah.
Like they already have all my shit if they wanted to. Whatever. I mean, who doesn't have your shit in this day and age? That's what it really is going to come down to, sadly.
Yeah.
But
basically, it looks like it's 720 something.
yeah. Booyakasha.
Congratulations.
Yes.
You win the biggest nerd trophy.
Yes. What up?
Yeah, exactly. It's not a shame trophy.
No, it's not a shame. So, but yeah, no, the game I think will have longevity to it. Starting with the Kanto region really brings in a lot of the popularity from the people that started in the beginning.
Yeah, and it removes all the intimidation because had they put all 640 that are released right now or whatever, that like right in at the start, a lot of people would be like, I don't know what these things are.
Yep.
But this way, they release the Kanto region, and you get everyone who cared about Pokemon, like people who love the new Pokemon, people who love old Pokemon. Like you get everyone in there, and then as the new thing updates, it's like, oh, I love that Pokemon Go game. They just released a whole bunch of new Pokemon. I'm back in.
Yeah.
And so on and so forth until they get to the 700 and something.
The other thing that's crazy is so like this is taking over the world basically, right?
It sounds like hyperbole, but like
Everybody.
businesses are changing because of it.
Businesses
Like my manager at the store that I work at was like, how can we capitalize on this? Because he knows I'm like a big gamer. And I was like, there's a Pokestop out back. If we could put some signs out there or something, like directing people in here for some discounts or something if they mention Pokemon Go, I was like, we can make some like team themed drinks to like
that'd be pretty dope.
I know, it'd be pretty cool, right? We got a red drink, blue drink, and
the Mystic drink.
I would say we could have a yellow drink, but like who's fucking Instinct, whatever. Nobody. And if you are,
the boy Hunter Pence is
shame on you.
I think Alex Van Aken is also
shame on you.
If you're watching this, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, but
no. The thing is, like, there's nothing wrong with Team Instinct. It's just that like they so clearly became the minority that fast, and it's like, oh, now there must be something wrong with Team Instinct.
The problem is that like the company was like, man, what colors do we use? You know, it makes sense going through and using red and blue because those are the two original games.
Yeah,
and then yellow was the byproduct.
Yeah.
And but the thing is like I was looking at it, I was like, man, I love Pokemon Yellow. I love Zapdos. Instinct looks pretty cool, and I was like, Mystic?
Yeah.
That matches more my personality.
Yeah, I mean that's actually it seems silly, but like that's what I thought about there. You were like, oh, like Valor players are all about like heart and like passion or something, and like Instinct is like, you know, like your feelings and your guts or whatever, and like Mystic is like I don't feel feelings, and I don't have.
I'm a robot, but I like to play Pokemon.
Yeah, and I don't have like sharp instincts or anything. I don't know. So it's like the Team Mystic is like planning and like, you know, I was like, yeah, it's me.
Yeah,
and then I found out that I was also picking like the biggest team.
Yeah.
So
well, the thing is also is that like once people picked it, like I sent out a tweet about it, and people were like, nobody really answered me. And I was like, I was like, all right, well, I'm not gonna sit here and wait. So I was like, all right, my favorite color is blue. Let's go Mystic.
Yeah.
And I did that, and I tweeted out about it, and everyone's like, yeah, Team Mystic for life, and I get followed by like a Team Mystic Twitter account. And then all I know is a bunch of my friends are doing it. Yeah. My friend was like, oh shit, you're blue? I was red. Fuck that. I'll quit that account. I'll make another account. I'll go blue.
That's awesome.
And now there's like, most of my friends are blue, but there are, you know, like my friend Andy from Rooster Teeth. He's unfortunately Valor. Scum.
It does
same
seem
with
to
Brian.
be the other most viable choice though.
Yeah, no, it's number 2.
Like I've looked at, every time I pass by a gym, I check the color and I check the highest rated Pokemon in there. Yeah. And it's usually red or blue. Yeah, it's very rare that I see an Instinct gym.
Yeah, very rare. It's just because there's not that many players of it, unfortunately. I mean, it would make more sense if it was so evenly diverse, but it's just not. But,
is there anything else you want to talk about with Pokemon Go?
No, just fix your distance tracker.
I feel like we're going to keep talking about it. They're going to keep adding features. Yeah. They're going to add in trading, which will be a big thing. I think I know they won't, but I would like the game a lot more if they added some.
Well, there's going to be
actual battling system. No, but like an actual like Pokemon based like battling system.
Maybe I don't know, but one thing I am excited about because I am going to California in September. I'm getting all the new Pokemans out there because there's going to be some that aren't around here, so that's what I'm excited about.
The other thing that is cool is like you go out there, you can catch a whole bunch of Pokemon, and you can trade them to me.
Yeah.
Like that would
or
be.
I could do it for money.
Yeah, or I mean that's like I have this. He's kind of
Don't use that. That's a really horrible idea. Don't. I just realized I did that, and now there's gonna be a monopoly for that.
No. I mean like a friend, a kind of friend that I work with. He was like, oh, can you trade yet? And I was like, not yet. And he's like, when they do, I'm just gonna start selling Pokemon. Like that was his thing, and I was like, yeah, man. I mean, I guess you
PayPal
could.
me $5 and you get a Blastoise.
Yeah,
or
exactly.
You know?
Yeah. I wonder how trading will work. Do you think I think it'll have to be proximity based.
Most likely, it'll be proximity based, and you'll have to trade some type of Pokemon. But I don't know if there's going to be like a
cost
power
money?
level thing.
I think it might cost money. I think it might make trades cost like 10 Pokécents or whatever they are.
No,
that would not surprise me at all.
I would see maybe if they use like Stardust or something like that.
That would be so nice. Because you can't even buy Stardust.
No, but I think that's.
I would buy Stardust. What would like so in terms of like what they are selling, how they are trying to monetize the game? What would you buy?
Well, the thing is that the
or
way
what have you already bought?
I have purchased bag space.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I spent like.
That's not a bad idea.
I think it was $1 or
like
$5 or something like that.
$2. Okay.
I don't remember how much it was, but I spent that and I just bought bag space.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, like the game I think gives you enough stuff to like you don't need to buy as long as you're playing enough and hitting enough Pokestops. I would buy lures if I was hanging out with people playing it more often.
Yeah, lures are
would
good.
Be that seems to be like the best reason to spend money in that game.
Yeah, no. The Pokeballs thing, if you go to Pokestops, you're fine.
Yeah.
Incense is good too.
Yeah.
Like if you're around like where I live, there's fucking nothing.
Yeah.
I have to drive to New Brunswick to get anything, or go to Middlesex or Bound Brook. But it's basically like incense will make it so it's just around here. That's how I actually caught a tentacle, and I can't remember the other one. I caught something else rad, but. Yeah, I used one of those and I caught 2 pretty good Pokemon with it. So
cool.
Incense are good, but lures I think are the number one thing. I think I'm in agreement with you.
Do you hear that noise?
That's train.
Oh, good.
I live relatively close to train.
No, like nobody, like I can barely hear it, so no one's gonna hear it on the track. It's just like I was freaked out for a second because I thought it might have been a vibration.
Who's having an Andrew's room?
Yeah,
I'm having an Andrew's
Oh god, it's happening. No, okay, so yeah, but that's not the only reason that Nintendo's having a good, a popular week.
No, they're not.
Because we were talking about this earlier. Before we recorded, they are going to be releasing the NES again. Obviously not exactly what it was, but it's
right in the nostalgia again.
Yeah, I mean, well, like Nintendo kind of realizing like that is their thing.
Yep.
Like, there's no reason to hide from it. You know, they've been utilizing nostalgia for years in that they like refuse to develop new characters and stuff, and but they also don't necessarily use their old characters. So this new NES might be a good way to make what's old new again. You know? And sell a few more copies of the games that people have already bought like 5 to 6 times.
It's true.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the thing is as I've said previously on this podcast, I have not really owned any Nintendo consoles with the exception of the 64, and I barely got to play that as it was.
Personally, if this was a 64, I'd be more likely to buy it. Like, I like the NES, but I don't know if I'd...
There's some good games on that, though. I mean, a lot of the games on there are... not Pokemon. Jesus Christ.
It's in your brain, yeah.
Mario. A lot of them are Mario, but, you know, there's, like, Super Ghosts and Ghouls. I always love playing that. Really hard, but actually having it to myself now might actually make it so I can put a little bit more time into it.
But, like, as a Nintendo nostalgia machine, like, that is the reason to own this, basically. I think it would hit me more if it was an N64, because that was, like... when I was first getting into gaming. Wow. And that was my first console that I
put it past him.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it could happen in the next couple of years, probably. Which is why I say that now, so I have an excuse when that time does come to just buy it.
In all honesty, like $60 for the console and 30 games, really good price.
Yeah.
You know, it's they did a good job with that. I
think so. Yeah, I mean, they could have probably charged $100 and people still would have bought. But
yeah, absolutely.
I'm glad that they went with what they went with.
Yeah, I think it makes it more accessible to more people.
It's definitely more palatable as a price point, that's for sure.
Absolutely. If you said $100, I don't know, but if you make it the same price as a video game, I'm like, well, I'll just not buy a game that I probably would have bought before.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, like, so that is. I don't know. Is there anything else you really want to?
No, excited for it. The thing is, though, that I wish it would have come out like I mean, I get why it comes out in holiday time, but maybe if it came out during summer,
Yeah.
I would have been able to put more time into it.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. There's kind of a dead zone right now.
Exactly.
At least for the next couple weeks until I guess No Man's Sky is going to be the first big release going into like leaving summer into fall.
Yeah, we'll discuss more about that shortly, but it's, that one
we're not sure about.
Yeah, we'll see.
Well, so one of the other things we're going to talk about is Overwatch. Now, you brought Overwatch up earlier. I played Overwatch with you and Sean last week at some point.
Yeah.
I had a pretty good time. It is a good game. I'm not sure I'm at like high enough level of play to really feel like I'm affecting change now, because it seems like the only people who are left playing it are like people who've been playing it for a while. Which is still like a lot of people, but I don't really see that many. Like, I'm usually the lowest level person in the game that we go into.
Well, yeah, most of the people that have like gotten on that train have gotten on it now. You know,
that's what I'm saying. So,
but no, there's still players in that game. Like if you're talking about skill level, there's still some inept players.
Sure. But that like it seems like they at least have been there longer.
Yeah, I mean, so the thing is, right, is that a player's level might be high, but that doesn't mean that they are good or bad at the game per se. So. I mean, in that circumstance, you should be fine getting into it. You can still get in there and be better than some of the people that are playing.
I'm sure it could be, but again, like almost invariably, they have at least more time spent in the game,
That's
so
true.
they know the rules a little bit better.
The rules.
I mean, like you
kill people.
But like you get what I mean by that. Like there are like certain rules for certain characters. Certain characters counter other characters very well, and I just like have no idea.
It seems that there are certain characters that just kill everybody, and there's just some people that just don't do anything.
Sure. And I guess to avoid imbalancing competitive play for those characters that just murder everybody, they announced that they were going to be limiting the use of like one of each character at most in competitive play.
Yeah. So let me tell you this horror story that we played in a ranked game. Basically, we went through and it was on Valkyria. I can't remember the name of the map, but
don't even bother looking at me.
I don't know. It's one of the maps that you start off and there's literally like one entry point, the window above it. Usually there's like the Symmetra turrets around it as a car wash.
Okay.
Make sure you can't get through. With that, on that map, we faced 5 divas and 1 Lucio in a ranked match.
Wow.
We were holding our own at the first point for a while. Like we got to the last 10 seconds. And then there was just nukes.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Like, it's the nuke. If you're not familiar with Overwatch, nuke is basically what I call Diva's when she's in her mech. Her ultimate. Yeah, it's called Overload. I suppose.
Is it? I don't know. She overloads it and like blows it up.
Yeah, she basically jumps out of the thing, shoots it to wherever. Like it's a distance away. I don't know how to measure it, but it would go on the point, and if you're within this large radius, and the exclamation point is red, you will die. If it's yellow, then you're fine, or if you're behind an object, you're okay. So anyway, there's a bunch of us, and then they just launch them in one by one.
Yeah, and these points are usually in areas where there wouldn't be a lot of cover, so you wouldn't be able to just really hide terribly well.
That's another thing I'll talk about soon too, because they're doing character buffs and debuffs, and Diva's getting a buff, a major buff.
They're making her stronger?
Oh yeah.
So you're saying they're rebalancing and they're making her stronger?
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah. But with this being competitive play where you can't have more than one, solves that problem a little bit, because I was worried about that, because the character change for her is that her detonation on that is 1 second faster. She gets it 25% faster, and she can't die inside of it.
Whoa! Wait, that was one of the best like limitations to it.
Yeah,
is that she couldn't be too close to her own blast.
She's in it, and she could shoot you at the same time. So if you're running out of it, she could just shoot you to death.
Wow.
Yeah, not good. The shield part of it, defense matrix, the little thing that you can absorb all the bullets. That one actually is a little bit more interesting, where it now only has a 1 second cooldown.
Okay.
But the reason being is because there's a meter, kind of like Reinhardt's shield. So
it can only take a certain amount.
Correct.
Okay.
But you can bring it up as much as you want, but it takes a little bit to charge it back up.
Okay.
But yeah, her not being able to die in her own ultra is something. But yeah, so going back to the story, we get to the second point, and they were forcing it into overtime by constantly just doing that over and over and over again. And when you're out of the mech, you can still shoot people, but from further away. So they would send a teammate in, launch it, the rest of them would come in to try to contest.
Yeah.
And then like if they died in the mech, they would jump out to launch the nuke, and then they'd go to the back, and it was constant. It was like a 3-minute overtime.
Oh my god.
We won because
good.
we won.
I thought that was gonna end,
but
with
it
you
was
losing.
the worst infuriating.
Yeah,
because it was just 2 to 3 minutes of just like, when is this going to stop? We've killed them so many times, but they just keep coming back.
Yeah.
And now that they're putting this into competitive play where they're reducing this, fantastic.
Yeah.
Very happy about that, because if I had to deal with that again, I may have pulled my hair out.
Yeah, I mean, I think it inherently limits the. It makes team composition much more interesting.
Oh yeah.
And I think that'll be.
We should look
good
up
for
as
the game
well
itself.
the other buffs that they're doing for the other characters, because there's 2 more buffs for characters that they're releasing. One is Zenyatta. He's getting 50 more shields, so he's 200 essentially health now.
I think that's good, because like I was playing as Zenyatta a little bit, and like I thought he was a good character all around, but like he is paper thin.
Yeah,
like
he's gonna be great now.
The thing that frustrates me about Bastion isn't that like you can't counter him, like because you can, and that's fine.
Genji just counters him, but
sure, but like it's that I don't even know I'm getting shot before I'm dead.
Yeah, he does a lot of damage real fast.
Especially when you're Zenyatta, and that was the thing. Like I was in this match playing as Zenyatta, and like I would not even know that I was going to be getting shot, and I would already be dead.
Yeah,
like and that was very frustrating.
Bastion's real strong, but Zenyatta is getting a speed increase in general as well.
Okay, cool.
He's also getting his Transcendence heals 300 health per second rather than 200 now.
Oh.
His Discord Orb throws at 120% faster, or like 120 compared to 40, whatever the statistic might be, but it's 3 times faster essentially. So the Discord and Harmony Orbs get there faster. He moves faster in general. He moves faster when he's in Transcendence as well.
Okay.
So he's just moving all around the map. Could be a pain in the ass to deal with. But
absolutely.
The thing is that it's a good character to have on either side of the team. So that's something you want part of your team composition. Another character that they're buffing, I think, or no, it was debuffing, I think. I don't know. You'll look it up. The other news is that they're releasing a new character, Ana.
Yeah. Okay.
Ana's being released, in which she is essentially a sniping medic. What seems to be extremely strong. She's not on console yet, but she's part of PC beta servers. So you can go in there. It's not going to be ranked or competitive anyway, but you get to use these new, the new, basically updates on the characters, that buffs and debuffs, as well as Ana. Ana's character is very interesting, where she has a sniper that if you shoot a teammate, it'll heal them. I don't know for how much health or how fast the bullets come back yet, but she does kill a Widowmaker in 1 shot to the head. So her gun is pretty strong. She's essentially a support Widowmaker.
Interesting.
If you're playing Widowmaker after this update comes out, you're a jerk, essentially, because you can heal people with your gun and still kill people. And on top of, I mean, like, the thing is that Widowmaker is like other like alternate attacks.
Yeah.
Are not very strong.
Sure.
She has a thing where she can pull herself up to a higher point.
Yeah. It's great for movement, but
great for movement, and her
mind is fine, right? Like she has
it just kind of lets you know that somebody's behind you.
Yeah.
And then her ultimate is basically that you can see everybody on the map,
which I think is one of the weaker ones, because there are some other abilities like that can do something similar.
Yeah.
Much more easily.
Yeah. But Ana, obviously, we said that she can go through. She can one-shot, headshot a Widowmaker.
Mm-hmm.
She can heal people with the same weapon. She also has a stun knife. She basically, or a stun pistol. She shoots it. It's like a 12-second cooldown, but you can stop somebody using their ultimate.
Oh wow! Okay.
Straight up stuns them, and they're down for a couple of seconds unless you start attacking them. They're asleep.
Sure.
Essentially. Another one is.
I like the idea of shooting someone to heal them. Yeah. I think that's kind of funny. Actually,
it is kind of
like.
Another one is she has like this little grenade that she throws, in which teammates will. It's either they get health or they get a boost in health. That's what it is. They are able to receive more heals at the end for a short duration of time, whereas the enemies in that field cannot be healed.
Right.
At all. So
that's interesting.
That's cool. Her ultimate is something that's really intriguing. It's certainly a support, because you go through and whatever you hit, it's like basically a stim pack.
Yeah.
That you hit them with, it doubles their speed. It gives them, I think, 1.5 times their damage, and they take more damage. So,
okay.
Yeah, so you basically, I think it's for like 8 seconds or something like that, but you hit somebody with this, they hit harder, they take more hits, and they're faster.
It's interesting.
Yeah. So that's she's very interesting. I actually really anticipate her coming out on the console.
Hey man, if you want to start playing Overwatch, like I'll play Overwatch.
I'll play Overwatch.
I mean that's what I'm saying. Like if you wanna like help me play Overwatch, like I'm down. Like I don't know if you have like a crew or whatever. Yeah.
No. I don't know what's going on. Obviously, Sean has officially moved to San Francisco as of today.
It's true.
So his 3-hour time difference is going to be
throw things off a bit, yeah.
A little bit. So I don't know what our teams are going to do now. So we're gonna
whatever. If you ever just want to screw around, like I'm down.
Yeah.
I can't find more information about the rebalancing, but I think we've talked to Overwatch straight to death.
Yeah, it's basically I know it's Diva's getting a boost
Yeah.
and Zenyatta. I cannot remember the third character that is either getting a.
They were saying
buff or a debuff.
one thing I did see was that the cowboy motherfucker, McCree,
Oh yeah.
might be getting adjusted or already has been adjusted.
He's getting. It's either like a damage boost. I think it's.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I don't know. I think he might be getting another boost too. But
Cool.
yeah, I mean, so that's pretty much everything Overwatch. I love Overwatch. So
Is it going to be the new Destiny? Like, is it the new thing that we're going to talk about for years to come?
I don't know. The thing is, I have to go back to Destiny soon.
Oh God.
Rise of Iron is coming out.
No.
I got to go back to it.
No.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, before Destiny takes over your life, are you going to play the No Man's Sky? Because
Probably not.
it went cold.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this is like going to be a short conversation because I think we're on the same page. Like, no, actually, I think we're on different pages. Same book though. Disappointment. The book is disappointment.
Yeah.
No, I'm concerned. Very, very, very concerned about that game. It's file size doesn't necessarily
indicate anything
at all. But the fact that the game is like 7 gigs or something,
like that,
and it's like apparently supposedly mostly music that's taking up that space for this infinite universe building thing, like that makes me a little concerned.
Yeah.
Now part of me thinks that it's like putting together these like algorithms and like maybe using some like cloud storage stuff.
That's
to
what I was
keep track
thinking. Is
of
maybe
old.
they have a server that they're.
So
running
maybe
off
the only data that you really need on your thing is like character models, shit, and like
music and like very basic
whatever helps the game create planets.
Yeah, structure of some
Yeah,
sort.
exactly. So like maybe that's all very simple and they don't need to have a huge file size, but like the game's gone gold. It's apparently not very big, and I'm very curious to see what that game is like upon release. Like I don't know what it's going to be like, and I'm more worried now than I am excited. Whereas a couple months ago, I was more excited than anything else.
Yeah. Well, the thing is that I've already discussed the fact that I am not anticipating much from this game.
Sure.
Mainly because they took away the fact that you can play with friends. You can't do that. It's going to be very unlikely that you even see people. And if you do, then it's like holy shit, there's somebody playing this game.
Right. Yeah. It's gonna be a lonely experience.
Yeah, and I'm not down for that. Like I was looking to be able to like join a group of my friends and we just explore the universe. That's what like that idea to me was like that's fucking.
It
awesome.
seemed really cool at the time. Yeah.
But yeah, now like going off doing it by myself.
It's not what you're there for, and I get that. Like it's one of those games where I think at this point, even for me, and I was like super excited about it when I first heard about it. I think it's one of those games that I'm gonna wait for a review.
Yeah.
I think you got to see what people are saying about it when it comes out, and see if it's going to be right for you. Because at this point, I'm anticipating a game that's like, when you first hear the concept, you're like, that game could be a 10. That could be like nothing else that's ever happened before.
Mm-hmm.
But at this point, I'm like, nah, it's probably not going to be that.
No. I mean, for their sake, I hope so.
Oh yeah, that'd
they
be great.
worked incredibly hard on this
I'm
game.
sure.
But the thing is that like it's not piquing my interest.
Sure.
Mainly for what I said previously, but I do hope tremendous success for them. I hope the game turns out to be just a masterpiece.
Yeah, absolutely.
But we each have our worries with it. That's basically what it comes down to.
So did you want to talk about some TV and movie stuff?
Sure. Yeah, we are. We're at 45 minutes.
Oh, okay. That's about what I was anticipating.
Yeah. So we're right on track. Thank you for staying.
How's it going? So let's talk about this stuff real quick, and then we'll get into the viewer questions. Listener questions.
Well, I mean, the TV stuff I don't think is going to be very long.
Exactly. Sure. So let's go for it.
All right. So the first piece of news I guess we'll go through and we'll speak about is Suicide Squad tickets are now available for the midnight release. Very exciting.
You know what's really disappointing to me? Let's not talk about Suicide Squad. Nobody sent in any advertising copy for Fred to read in that creepy voice. Not even one person.
I want to talk about Suicide Squad.
Do you remember the call for that?
Oh. Yeah.
When we said we were going to do that? I'm gonna have to find some of my own.
Oh yeah.
I want you.
Suicide Squad going to theaters August 5th.
Well, no, you kind of did the voice where you're like, Suicide Squad tickets are now on sale.
Suicide Squad tickets are now on sale.
Yeah, exactly.
Rob Schneider in Suicide Squad.
Fuck you, you'll see it anyway. Seriously, if you find some heinous ad copy, I'd like to have Fred read that.
You could do it, I guess.
That'd be great.
I'll read it.
I think that would be really funny.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see.
Maybe just somebody find the marketing line for that macaroni and Cheetos thing. I want to see. I want to hear Fred describe it.
There's some of the like the Sham Wow and shit like that.
That'd be great.
That'd be hilarious.
Yeah.
Too, yeah. But yeah. Anyway, Suicide Squad. Very excited about it. I'm trying to figure out who I'm seeing it with and figuring out when I'm purchasing tickets because I want to go.
Okay. I mean, I would like to see the movie. So if you
are you down to go see it on a Thursday? Oh, I have to. It's probably going to be a Friday. I forgot that I have hockey. But
whatever. I mean, like if you give me a date and I'm not working, I'll be there.
It's probably going to be August 5th then.
And I'm not opening the next day.
I'll have to talk with Dave.
We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. But yeah, I am excited about that movie. Like, sarcasm aside, I think it's gonna be one of the better DC movies that we've seen in a long time.
Yes.
Especially considering the last two major releases haven't been like stellar.
Yeah. Well, so the thing is, you still haven't watched Batman v Superman Ultimate Edition, right?
No, I haven't.
I watched both editions. I guess I don't know if I spoke about that on previous Nerds or not, but Ultimate Edition, if you weren't a big fan but you still somewhat enjoyed Batman v Superman, you will like it more because it's the story's more flushed out, characters more flushed out. You actually understand what's going on.
Okay. That's big for people with movies. People like to understand what's going on.
Seriously, and I don't know why. Like, yes,
I don't know why either. I think it's weird that people want to understand what's going on, but it's
really
just yeah.
But no, like the thing is that this movie released still at like 2.5 hours or 2 hours and 40 minutes. Why not add that extra half hour in? Yes, it looks daunting for people to see, like, oh my god, this is a 3 hour long movie, but at least it will make sense. But anyway, the Batman v Superman was awesome. So the Ultimate Edition was really good. The normal version of it was very
fine.
It was okay. But Suicide Squad has really piqued my interest. The actors are top notch for me. You can't tell me Will Smith and Jared Leto are not going to do some work. I love them.
I just hope they're used effectively.
We'll see.
Like, I think that the Suicide Squad is going to be full of characters that I think could be very annoying if used incorrectly. Like, I like Harley, but like I think if it's like too pandering or if she's too crazy, like I could get very bored of that very quickly.
Apparently, she is the highlight of the movie.
Okay.
From early reviews.
Cool.
So
cool.
Margot Robbie is apparently kills it.
Awesome.
That's Harley.
Cool.
Very excited to see that.
I think. I don't know. Again, it's pretty much. I think it has the potential to be the next Guardian of the Galaxies.
Yeah.
Galaxy, whatever.
Guardian of the Galaxies.
Guardian of all the galaxies. I sound like such a dad today. Like you and your
Pokemans
and your
galaxies. I'm gonna go
you
on
kids and your. You enjoy your Guardians. Whatever.
God, I hate you.
I know. But yeah, no, I think it could be that where it's like this group of people you never expected you to care about. You come with very little expectations, and maybe those expectations are exceeded tremendously.
Yeah.
That was pretty much the story of Guardians of the Galaxy. That like everyone's like, okay, it's a Marvel movie, but I don't really know who these people are or care much about them.
Yeah.
Unless you're a total nerd. And then it turns out again, not a pejorative. But then it turns out to be this incredible movie, right?
Yeah.
This could be the exact same thing, where like people know the only limiting thing about it might be the fact that the actors are well known, so it's getting a lot of like attention there. Whereas like Chris Pratt for Guardians of the Galaxy is like basically the front man. He still wasn't. He hadn't like taken over yet.
He wasn't. He didn't start.
He was rising.
Yeah,
at that
he was
point.
still rising.
Yeah.
He didn't hit the pinnacle yet.
Yeah. Whereas like Will Smith, like everyone knows Will Smith. Margot Robbie was in Wolf of Wall Street. Been in some other stuff. Like she's gonna like people know her.
Mm-hmm. Not a lot of people know about Jared Leto.
I think Jared Leto's like famous for movies that aren't this.
Well, he's more famous for music than he is for movies.
Sure, but he was in some noteworthy movies like a year or two ago.
Yeah, Dallas Buyers Club.
Exactly.
I didn't see it, but
which is very, very not Suicide Squad as far as I know.
Yeah. Well, have you ever seen Panic Room?
No.
He also was in that. He wasn't a main character, but he was a supporting character, and he did a very good job in that too.
Fair enough. But yeah, no. So like these names are known, so I think there's going to be slightly more of an expectation going into it. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm excited to find out. I'm going in with very little expectation, so I think I'm going to definitely enjoy the movie one way or the other.
Yeah.
But I wonder.
I'm very excited for it.
Yeah.
Let us know what you think about the game.
Absolutely.
The movie, not game.
And the game.
And the game.
Because there will inevitably be a Suicide Squad game.
Possibly. But let us know what you think about the movie.
I bet if this movie is popular, there will be a Suicide Squad game. No, I guess alright. This isn't 10 years ago.
DC doesn't do what Marvel used to do.
Maybe they should.
No, probably not.
No, probably not.
No. Unless they give it to Rocksteady.
Yeah.
I don't know. But Rocksteady, I think, is done with Batman. That IP.
And so, speaking of superheroes, there's one other piece of TV-related news, right?
Yes, there is.
Would you like to?
Yes. So, if you watch Flash Season 2, spoilers for this.
Oh, yeah, heads up. So, there are going to be some light-ish...
Let's try. I'm not going to go too...
Yeah, okay, some light-ish Flash spoilers.
Basically, if you're on Season 1 of Flash, you might want to skip, like...
Minute or two.
3 minutes ahead of that.
Sure.
Basically, what's happening is that the character that was introduced last season, Wally West, has been announced for Season 3 being Kid Flash. It was something that we all had a feeling was coming anyway.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as you heard the kid's name.
You're like, oh shit, it's Wally.
If you know anything about... Like, if you've heard anything really about Flash in the past, couple of years, like, that's a name that comes up. Just like... oh, man. I want to call him Grant Gustin, but that's the actual actor's name.
Yeah.
Barry Allen. Crushed it. Got it in one, guys.
Got it in one guess after the Flash. But yeah, no, so very exciting. This is basically because the first episode of the Season 3 is going to be called Flashpoint, if you didn't know.
I hate everything about how the last season ended.
Anyway, big possibilities. Yeah, big possibilities as to what happens this season. And they said they're not going to do Flashpoint as you normally know it, which is very interesting.
All right, fine.
One thing I am wondering, though, from watching this is because this outfit is almost dead on with Kid Flash.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if they're going to do Young Justice.
That would be kind of cool.
That would be dope.
Yeah.
Because, now that they have Supergirl on the docket for CW as well, they can kind of include some things. It's going to be real cool.
I'm excited to see, as usual, I'm excited to see, this is like the DC universe that I most connect with, this like Arrow Flash-iverse, is the one that I'm most, is the one I'm most invested in. And I think that they could do some really cool things with it.
Yeah.
But I also think that they could screw it up very easily.
They could. But
especially on a personal level, like I don't like time travel.
Nitpicks.
Time
travel.
Yeah.
To like just let it happen.
Because time travel doesn't make sense. Like
no,
it under no circumstances does it make sense.
Because we don't know.
If you are going to use it, I expect you to like make rules and follow them. And I think that like they are inherently broken. They like break their own rules all the time, and they come up with consequences that don't actually make any sense. So I long story short, I don't like time travel, which basically I have a very weird relationship with the Flash. Because like time travel is apparently like his thing now.
Yes, it always is
always.
His thing.
No, his thing is running really fast.
Yes, to the point where he can go through dimensions.
Well, that's stupid.
That's a power he has.
That's dumb.
God, you just can't believe.
Whatever.
Let your imagination run
Flash
wild.
might be in Flash.
Yes.
Or will be in Flash.
Will be in Flash
cool.
Season 3. What way will he be in there? We don't know. If it's
he's gonna be like, hey, Flash, you goofed. You shouldn't have fucked with time. And Flash will be like, I know I shouldn't have fucked with time.
Anyway,
we
don't know if it's going to be the Wally West that we have in our current Earth, or if it's going to be one from a different Earth.
Yeah.
So very interesting prospects, possibilities more of. If you go through and it is from a different universe, that's where the possibility of it being a Young Justice storyline in there can come through. Given there hasn't been too much talk of it, you would think that there may be a little bit more chatter. But who knows? This is a whole new thing that they're doing, so I'm excited for it, basically, if you couldn't tell.
Cool.
Very excited.
Let's move on to those listener questions.
Yes.
Listener-viewer questions.
No more spoilers.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody's still, from when Sean did it a while back, when we waved his arms, the spoiler warning went away. Okay. But yes, it's over. It's over.
So, Nate D, thank you for sending in a question.
Yes, thank you.
The Diz. There's like 8 Z's on Twitter.
The Diz.
Asks us thoughts on Stranger Things.
I haven't watched
And
it
then
yet.
he proceeds to call us gentlemen,
Oh.
which I think is
Thank you.
too nice. You're too
I
nice.
am not a gentleman.
Yeah.
But thank you very much.
Makes me want to carry myself a little bit better, you know?
More proper.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. So it's a scary show, apparently.
Yes, it's a horror show.
I'm a big baby. We've talked about this before.
But he doesn't cry.
No.
Just a big baby that whines.
No, it's the same thing. Yes. That is pretty much, yeah. That should just be my Twitter, like line, like summary.
Big baby that just whines, doesn't cry.
Yeah. No, but I'm like, we talked about this before. When a horror thing approaches me, I try and like
Avoid it like the plague.
No. I just try and like if it's like something that's happening to me, I just try and like overanalyze it until the point that it's not scary anymore. I intentionally ruin it for myself so that I'm not scared. So it's like, or I end up finding it like silly or something. So I'm not really into horror, but I know isn't like your girlfriend very a horror fan.
Yes.
I was gonna call her a horror head, but that sounds like an insult.
That does sound like an insult. No,
She's a horror fan.
She's a horror fanatic, yes.
Yeah, fanatic. That's good.
Yeah, well, fan is fanatic and short.
Sure.
Paraphrase.
Okay. Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So I'm probably gonna end up watching it with Kelsey at some point. She adores everything horror. So I'm hearing fantastic things about this show.
Yeah.
But I have not watched it yet. It's the same thing with going on with Mr. Robot. I just haven't gotten the chance to watching it.
Now let me tell you about Mr. Robot.
Oh boy.
No, okay. So I watched the first season of Mr. Robot. If you, for reasons I won't get into, for either property really, if you liked Fight Club, you will probably you will almost definitely like Mr. Robot. For a lot of the reasons, there are a lot of reasons that people are gonna think of when they first start watching it. But really, I mean that just tonally, the show discusses a lot of similar issues about major corporations basically owning the people, government owning the people. What can they're trying to create revolution.
Yeah, I watched
there's all this
one 2-minute scene about some guy in Times Square ranting and raving about stuff.
Yeah.
That's about the only thing I've seen. I'm interested in that show. But I gotta get into watching it. Right now, the show that I'm prioritizing over everything is Dragon Ball Super. I have to catch up on it.
I don't know why.
It's I'm 23
I know you like
episodes
Dragon
behind.
Ball. I know you don't just like Dragon Ball. I know you love Dragon Ball.
I have the Golden Frieza pop in there because I love Dragon Ball Z.
So you do.
Fucking love it.
So yeah, I mean, I know that I know you love it, but I don't. I watched an episode or two of Super with you and Dave, and I was just like.
Do you know the character they reintroduced?
Cell?
No. Nobody gives a fuck about Cell. With the exception of Frieza, they introduced my favorite character of Dragon Ball Z.
Trunks.
I did
Future
it.
Trunks. I did it.
Future Trunks is back.
Okay, cool. Does he still have a sword?
Yes.
Oh, congratulations.
So that's what I heard that and I was like, I have to watch.
Yeah.
So there's also a new character called Goku Black in there, which is another Goku from a different universe. I don't know yet. Not there. So spoilers, by the way. Sorry.
I guess.
Yeah. You have to watch that in Japanese if you really want to do that. But yeah. Anyway. Stranger Things I'll probably end up watching.
Oh yeah, I forgot that's what we were talking about.
Yeah, I got really far past that. Stranger Things I'll end up watching. I just don't have anything yet. Same with Mr. Robot, for those that are asking. So
the next question, our friend Dave, who we've mentioned a few times, wants to know who would win in a fight, The Rock or A-Rock?
The Rock.
Well, no, I mean I don't know if he's strong enough. And how fast is The Rock?
One, how big is this rock?
How big is The Rock?
Because usually when it's a bigger
So
rock,
this is kind
it's
of like the
considered
discussion,
a boulder.
what happens when an immovable object meets an unstoppable
force? The unstoppable force, any immovable object are The Rock.
Yeah,
he
he's
destroys all.
both.
He's everything.
So, and I think the answer is that the universe ceases to exist. So that is inevitably what's going to happen to us all. And I've
He fights a rock and we all die.
I've had a great time living on this planet with all of you, and I wish us all the best of luck.
I wish us all the best of luck. I think The Rock will, because he can train himself.
I mean, yeah, ultimately he could also just crush The Rock.
Yeah.
But then does he just have two enemies?
Well, or
if he splits a rock in two.
Pebble.
At some point it's
And then he
sand,
eats
right?
it.
It's no longer rocks.
And then he eats it.
Okay.
And then he is...
I mean, that's about as much of a victory as you can get.
And then he is The Rock A-Rock.
Amy Gilroy wants to know, with
Amy.
Yeah, what's up? With SDCC just around the corner, what panels are we most looking forward to?
So I don't know about the specific panels.
Yeah, me
to
neither.
be
So let's
completely
kind of
honest with you.
expand it into the whole. Like, what are you looking forward to out of SDCC?
Basically, movie news and TV news, as broad as that
Like,
is.
you don't know what you're looking for. Yeah.
No, it basically any updates as far as like the DC television shows I watch.
Yeah.
I'm very excited about. That includes Supernatural as well.
Sure.
The movie scene, I want to know more about the upcoming movies this year. If they can give me a little bit more about Spider-Man, Homecoming, ooh, happy about that.
Yeah.
I mean, any news is good news coming out of there. It's
Generally, yeah. It's usually exclusively stuff to get hyped about.
Exactly.
I am always curious about gaming and stuff like that, but that's usually not a big thing
Nope,
here.
SDCC is not
It's
a
like
gaming thing.
Yeah, and like
It's media.
I know, yeah. So I don't think we're gonna get anything like that, which immediately like lowers my interest level.
Yeah.
As far as movies and stuff like that, I'm interested in most of the same universes that you're interested in, I think.
Yeah.
So, because you're usually the person I get my news secondhand from as far as movies and TV show.
Yeah, I'm usually a little bit more involved.
You're following it a little bit closer. Yeah, so I think, I don't know, whatever gets you excited, I'm sure is going to end up getting me excited.
Yeah, it's basically anything like comic related.
Yeah.
Is always something that's interesting because it's a break away from the norm that has been movies for a while.
Sure.
I mean, as of recent, it's been more about that.
Yeah,
but,
it is almost the norm.
It is becoming that, but it's just seeing it on the big screen always makes me happy. But I wish I could go to SDCC, but I tried to look at tickets recently, and they're $1,800, not including not including flight or a hotel. So, and everything is jacked up during that time. So I was like, man, I kind of want to go. And I looked at it, I was like, well, that's not happening. For any of you that are going, I am super jealous. And if you see the guys from Ismahawk, tell them I said hi. Because I'm very jealous. Man. Yeah. They're expensive as shit.
Yeah, dude.
It's unnecessary.
And now that New York Comic Con, they're making them almost impossible to get your hands on.
So the thing is, I'll break away from that for a second. New York Comic Con has actually made it so...
they reopened, right?
For one day, so it's already done.
It's already done. I already registered. So
but basically, the one thing I was going to do is because one of my... I had somebody that wanted to buy a ticket for them, and they just filled out fan verification when they reopened it.
Yeah.
So there were obviously no tickets available from Repop, the company that does New York Comic Con tickets. I was looking at it and I was like, man, maybe I should get it through like StubHub. They're like $300.
Yeah. Okay.
And I was looking at it and I was like, the thing is that I like, in order to like register that ticket, you need to sign it to that person's ShowClicks account and then do it that way. So it's all depending on how cool that person's going to be.
Yeah.
If you do it. And I didn't want to test it because if I spend $300 and that guy never gives me his account and the tickets get sent back to Repop,
Yeah,
I'm out
$300.
$300.
Yeah.
I can't get that back in any way.
Absolutely.
So I'm holding on, waiting to see if when they're going to resell them from Repop.
I think that's your best bet.
Yeah.
So the next question, Andrew Middlemouse.
The
2
boy.
rounds left.
What's up, man?
What up? He has 2 questions.
Okay.
With games like I Am Setsuna, Grand Kingdom, and Secret of Mana, has the JRPG bug bitten you yet?
I've never been one to play JRPGs.
Yeah,
that's just never been up my alley. I'm not a big turn-based fan.
Yeah.
Which is, I feel like a lot of JRPGs,
fall into
are that. The only one that I guess you can say is a JRPG is like Pokemon. Like
I mean, technically, yeah.
Yeah, like not Pokemon Go, but the actual Pokemon games.
We covered that one to death.
Yeah.
Definitely not an RPG.
I'm interested in Sun and Moon. I still have Omega Ruby that I really haven't put much time into right now.
I would totally borrow that and play it.
I don't know if you can make a second account on there, so I don't know.
What? Is it not attached to the hard drive?
I'm pretty sure it's attached to the cartridge. Anyway.
That's the...
I don't know.
Whatever.
I could be very wrong, and there's going to be Nintendo fans that are going to rip us apart for not knowing.
That's fine. If you're a Nintendo fan and you're still here, bless you.
Seriously. I mean, we talked highly about it before, but,
No, but you haven't been to the last 54 episodes where we talked nothing but shit about Nintendo.
Yeah, we just shat on them all day.
Oh, my God.
But, yeah, so, I mean, Pokemon's the only one that I really liked. It's a JRPG. And I'm interested in Sun and Go, and like I said, I haven't put much time into it.
Sun and Go?
Sun and Moon.
Yeah.
Go was really good. Just jammed into my brain and just screwed in.
Yeah, dude. I mean, as far as those games, like the ones that you mentioned, I'm not terribly interested in. The next like JRPG I'm really excited about is Ni no Kuni 2.
Ooh, Ni no Kuni.
But I'm not really even sure when that's coming out. I don't think it's this year.
No, I think it's gonna be next year.
Yeah, so I mean that's That's the next like JRPG that I am actively following.
What about like Persona and all that? Do you like those?
Persona, like okay, that would be the other one.
Because I think
Thank you
Persona
for
5
reminding
is
me.
coming out this year.
Yeah, it's supposed to be coming out. I think it's coming out next year here, but it's coming out this year in September.
Okay.
Or something like that
I don't
in
know.
Japan.
I don't pay attention to those games too much.
Yeah.
It's just like I said, turn-based games are not usually my forte. But if you can bring them on the mobile with you, like, and they're Pokemon, and it's very easy to get into.
Yeah.
That's how I get into JRPGs.
And Andrew's other question is: do competitive modes like Overwatch's ranked modes interest you as a solo experience?
Solo, absolutely not.
No, it sounds like something that will drive you to suicide real quick.
Yeah. One, because it seems more often than not people don't use microphones and you can't speak to them. The one thing that is good is that they can't pick a duplicate of a character now or when that update releases. But say if that person's playing Widowmaker on offense and it makes you want to just murder them on the spot. But
see, like I don't even really know what that means. I just know that but through context clues, probably a bad thing.
it doesn't help your
work
team
well.
at all.
Okay, all right.
It's like having a Hanzo on offense. It just doesn't help your team.
That was a poor comparison for me.
Yeah, Hanzo. There's technically
Equally
the same,
bad. Yeah.
Well, they're the same kind of character. They're both classified as snipers.
Okay.
So a sniper on offense does not really help you unless they are really good.
Yeah.
But even then, I mean, like if you can have a soldier, a Pharah, and like 3 offensive characters, you can have another one being like I don't know, whoever the hell you really want at that point, except for McCree, and Genji.
Sure.
But, you know, it's basically you want to be able to communicate with your teammates, and as a solo experience, that most likely, if you are paired up with a team of 5, they're in a party already, and you won't be able to speak to them. So, it's solo experience, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
I had to take my wallet out of my pants because it hurt my butt.
Yep, it hurts your back over time too.
Fucked. Next question from Boobulo, who corrected us.
Yes.
Thank you.
I know any attempt is better than no attempt, but we actually want to get it right for you. You support us. So.
Did you hear me? Because I got it right, I
Boobulo.
think. Now I'm actually starting to doubt myself.
Yeah.
But I think I got it, and I remembered.
You tried to do it phonetically for us, but I don't think it worked.
It usually does. We're tremendously thick.
Yeah.
Anyway, he or she?
Guessing he.
God damn it!
That's another question for you. Are you he or she?
Whatever. This individual
Yes.
would like to know what food item is everyone crazy about that you're like yuck. Apparently, this person's is is avocados, which you nailed it in one. I hate avocados. I don't understand the obsession with avocados. I go to nice restaurants now with my fiance. Look at me. I'm on a streak today of nailing things. I usually call her my girlfriend, but she is my fiance now.
My fiance.
My fiance.
Ho ho.
I like to pronounce it incorrectly and say my fancy.
My fancy.
My fancy. My fancy, and I go to a fancy restaurant.
Your finances.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm trying to think.
And yeah, no, there's avocados in fucking every dish. Every other dish is avocados.
Avocados are great.
No, they're not great. And like you like guacamole or some shit. No, guacamole is not even okay.
Okay.
You take avocados, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they are mushy and gross.
Yep.
And then you mush them, and they are still mushy and gross. Like there's
you put salt in them.
Yeah, you put salt in them and like stuff tomatoes in tomatoes I don't even like either really. The salsas are good, I guess. But tomatoes generally I'm not really a huge fan of. It's not gonna make it any better.
No, it does. So the thing is, right?
No,
avocados are extremely good for you.
Yeah. Okay. So
you
since when is that like a redeeming quality that I actually care about in terms of foods that I like?
Considering the fact that you were like, I'm trying to eat healthier.
In terms of food that I like, that has nothing to do with it.
Burritos.
The fact that
you don't taste it in burritos,
dude.
You don't.
Gross.
No. So. I love avocados. Just mainly if you put it because I
don't
don't
bring
like
my salads into this because salad like the thing that the myth about salads is that a salad can't taste good. I feel like I love a good salad.
Anyway, avocados are great, especially if you can't taste them in a sandwich. Because I don't like straight up eating like an avocado like my dad does. My dad will just eat avocado and lemon.
My fiance does it too.
Yeah,
she eats it with a spoon like it's dessert. And like you are an animal.
It's crazy.
You are
but
disgusting.
I mean, it's super good for you.
Also, I'm gonna be marrying this person, so I should probably stop saying terrible things.
Yeah, probably. So yeah, I like avocados. I'm trying to think of like what I guess it would be like.
You should be
honestly
like a good hot dog.
I don't like hot dogs,
Yeah.
and that's only because.
But that's not something that like everybody loves. But like most people would eat a good hot dog.
Yeah, the reason why I don't like hot dogs is because I ate so many when I was a kid that I vomited, and it just left a like a.
So you've got an aversion.
Yeah, I'm just.
A
like,
lot of people have aversion to like the first alcohol that makes them puke.
Mm-hmm.
Fred's got hot dogs.
Yeah, I mean sometimes nachos too, because I also vomited from those.
But nachos are such a good food.
Yeah, nachos are great, but like I just had a really bad experience with them. But the same with hot dogs. I can eat a corn dog, but I can't eat hot dogs.
Yeah.
But fish also, like sushi.
Sure.
Only if it's like tempura, like a tempura sushi.
I'll try almost anything once, and those like sushi is one of those things where I was like, I don't think I'm gonna be into this, and my now fiance, I guess, then girlfriend was like, you should just try it, just put it in your mouth. I was gonna say that sounded really weird, and then I had to go back to it because what I actually ended up saying was weirder.
Just put it in your mouth.
Yeah, and I ended up like kind of liking it. I mean, have you tried like California rolls and stuff like that?
Yeah, I've tried California rolls, way too bland.
Those are super basic.
Yeah.
They're very refreshing. That's the thing.
Yeah, they're bland. The thing is, right, is that sushi, like, it includes a lot of weird fish, and I'm not a huge fan of fish.
So neither am I. But if you go to, I don't know, like, what sushi places you've been to.
Sushi Palace and Megami in Morristown.
Okay. Because there's one near me called Sudu, which is a really good sushi place, and like the California rolls, which are traditionally pretty bland and pretty easy, like even those have like a really good flavor. So I feel like it might be worth your while. But like the thing is, once you are going to a sushi place, you've committed to spending money, and like I know how hard it is to make that investment on it, like especially food, which is very important to me, and I think it's very important to you. Like it's hard to commit to like a dish even that you're like, oh, I don't know, man, I don't know if I'm gonna like this.
Yeah,
I don't know, and I'm too awkward to say I don't like this and make them make me a new one.
Yeah. Well, the thing is that like whenever I go to like a sushi place like that, is I'll order like tempura or like chicken, like a chicken teriyaki or something. Sure. That. But it's, my girlfriend Kelsey just loves sushi. That's like one of her main foods. Yeah. By the way, if you hear that thing in the background, I'm super sorry. That's my air conditioning.
Kicking on.
Yeah, just kicking on randomly. Don't know if that's gonna be a problem.
Oh, well, I mean, you've made it this far. We're going to be done pretty soon. So.
Yeah, we're, oh my god, we're at an hour and 13 minutes.
Yeah, we got to finish up.
Yeah,
You want to go lightning round?
Yeah, why not?
Okay. Andrew Minowas, again.
Okay.
And I wouldn't be giving you a third question, except that this one I think is pretty good. Are there any games that you played a while ago that your friends are just getting into?
A while ago?
I think that would be Pokemon. If you can count Pokemon as a franchise as a whole, like
Pokemon. I'm seeing a lot of people starting to play Diablo again.
Really?
Like my friend Alfredo Diaz, he is playing Diablo pretty religiously now.
Okay.
Almost 3 years after its release.
Wow.
Our friends Nick and Shauna.
Yeah.
They also play Diablo on console.
Okay, cool.
I didn't get very far on the console one.
We should play that.
Yeah, I do have it.
Yeah.
So it's just sitting there, but. Diablo is one that I'm seeing a lot of. Also, I guess if you want to count, like that will be the show. I'm seeing a lot more people on my friends list on PSN starting to play the show, which came out in March. So
sure.
I mean, it's the summer, so whenever you see that, it's kind of like, well, they just don't have anything to play.
Right.
I don't know.
And so next question, let's do. Sorry if some of you are getting skipped. I like all of your questions. It's just we gotta. Go ahead.
I see that our boy Jake James Lugo put the JRPG question as well. I guess he just didn't include him with Andrews.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't see that one. That doesn't look like it was directed to me.
Oh, I guess it was just me. So yeah, we answered your question. I just wanted to give you a shout out since you did ask a question. Thank you very much for submitting one. And I know you're a Nintendo fan. Sorry for shitting on your hopes and dreams.
Josh. Okay. Mansala? I would have said Mansala, but there's an extra...
Mansala? You could just say AKA Flip on Twitter.
Sure.
He's the man.
At AKA
I played Gears of War 4 beta with him. Good guy.
I feel really dumb for not being able to say that name correctly.
I'm sorry if we just absolutely...
It looks like Manansala, but that's...
It could be Manansala. I don't know. Sorry if we're just butchering this right now.
Anyway, he's got a good question. When is Fred going to start playing the Gears of War Ultimate Collection to get ready for Gears of War 4? Or when is Fred going to start playing the God of War Ultimate Collection to get ready for God of War 4?
My assumption is that it's
I know.
the Gears of War 4 Ultimate Edition. The thing is, I had a really bad experience with Gears of War Ultimate Edition, and I usually only play that game with Sean, just because that's how I played every Gears of War, is usually with Sean. He's not playing it right now, it's on his list of things to do. So, I don't know. I don't know when I'll get back onto it. You know, maybe shortly. I can't guarantee anything as far as that goes. There's games coming out, like, really, like, that are big before that, too, that I want to play.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if I'll ever get to it for Gears of War 4. I might just have to take the real rough course. I'm just jumping on in. Might have to do that. I don't know. We'll see.
I don't know. And I think the last question that I'm gonna pull up, I don't know if you want to pull up any after this, but is Dalton Payne's asking recent games that you missed and would like to go back and play. For me personally, I think it's The Witcher 3. I think that will forever be hanging over my head because every time I try and go back and play it, I play it for a bit and then I get distracted by something else. It's too big. I have officially stopped. Yes, I don't care. I've officially stopped restarting it. So whenever I go back to it, I'm just like, fuck it, I'll just play from where I am.
Oh boy.
So just because if I restarted it every time,
I
play the intro like that. Yeah, so I'm just like, screw it, I'll just play where it lays.
The game that I want to get back to is Alienation.
Oh yeah.
I really enjoyed that game. Jack and I just had a really bad experience when we played it the last time.
I did end up beating it.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I do not enjoy playing that game solo.
It's fine.
It's
almost impossible to do. Like you can't do it with the tank class because it's just the range is too short. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, the range is way too short on those guns to make it an effective primary. But the other classes you could probably pull it off with. Yeah.
I don't like playing the game solo, so I need people to play with.
Yeah.
That's the thing. But not a lot of people are playing it right now either.
So yeah, I like beat the game. I remember now, and basically it just puts you into like
a new world
challenge
where everything is harder. Yeah. So, but yeah, I think that's it, right? That's all that. What's his response to? Our boy Quentin Hoffman.
I think just wants us to talk about.
He just wants to talk about Marvel Ultimate Alliance remasters. Yeah, do it.
I think it's
I'm so down. The X-Men Legends games on the original PlayStation 2 and Xbox. Whew, fire. Loved those games. We also had Nine Tone Bill, our man.
What up?
Basically, just was asking about a new segment, which, you know, I don't know if Sean's ever going to text me. I don't know if he's even going to listen to the show. He's going to be a busy man now, so I don't know. Sean usually doesn't text me funny shit. It's usually just very cut and bland shit. Basically, like, what it was before is like, you coming over? Yeah, cool, cut. He's like,
conversation over.
Overwatch? Yeah, getting on now. Cool, cut. Like, that's pretty much our text messages before. I don't know if they're going to get a little bit more colorful now that he's going to be out there. He hasn't texted me since he left, and so I don't know. We're going to see what happens. But I think
if you're watching the video, I wasn't expecting anything to be inside these Pokeballs, and I just found the Mewtwo like gold plated, or at least gold colored.
It's like 24 karat gold plate thing or something like that.
Wait, actually?
Not 24 karat. I'm sorry. That's higher number is better, isn't it?
Whatever the lowest percentage of gold.
It's essentially it's from Burger King.
Oh, okay. So it's like it's not.
It's nothing. Yeah. But I have all 6 of them. I have all of them.
Just around?
Yeah.
Can you sell those?
They're not worth a lot.
Oh, that's.
I had a plan for them, but that's gonna be for somebody else.
Okay.
it's a gift for somebody.
Oh, all right, cool. It's a certificate. There's a certificate of authenticity in here, which is actually super interesting.
Yeah. The other 4 don't have it.
Oh, all right.
Because they were just beaten up when I was a kid.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So anyway, we're about an hour and 20 minutes almost. So I think it's about high time we end the show.
I think high time to end the show was a couple minutes ago, but we went on anyway.
Yeah. Sorry if we babbled on.
Whatever. You're used to it by now. Right?
I'm guessing so. But thank you guys for everything. Cannot thank you enough for your support through everything.
Absolutely.
Going through, I saw that Nerding Out when I saw it last one, or previous segment that we did. 74 views.
Oh, wow.
Way more than I anticipated, and no dislikes. Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, now there will be.
We're trying to figure out if people wanted the videos to be a little bit shorter. Obviously, a half hour was kind of because it was an end of season discussion.
Yeah.
I'm thinking
ideally we want to do like 10 to 20 probably.
Oh, 5-10 minutes.
5 to 10?
Yeah,
oh, okay.
Real quick. I want to do the lightning on those. So that's what we're kind of thinking about right now. But let us know what you think. Obviously in the comments below or on that video, whatever you like. If you haven't checked it out yet, we have a new segment Check it out. It's like a half hour long.
It's all chock full of Game of Thrones spoilers, so if you don't care about Game of Thrones spoilers, go for it. If you are caught up on Game of Thrones, go for it. If you care about Game of Thrones spoilers, absolutely don't go for it. Do not go for it.
It's spoilers from season 1 to season 6.
Yeah, we don't discriminate. We
went
did
right
the whole
in.
thing.
We went balls deep.
Okay.
Balls.
I was like, I wonder when the next.
deep.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
I don't know why I act disappointed. It's not like it's gonna change now.
But anyway, thank you guys again for your support. You can follow us on Twitter. I am Fred_Sully. Jack is Gaming. You can also, if you would love to subscribe to us on YouTube, that would be awesome. Thank you so much. Also, you can follow @Knerds Podcast as well.
Yes.
Visit nerdsonline.com, and please, if you have any articles that you are looking to submit, please do so. We haven't had anything go up in a real long time, and we want to be able to showcase your talents.
If you had said something in previously, try you can, and you didn't get a response or anything. It was probably during our transition period when we weren't really doing anything. So if you want to, it's usually my department. So I'm telling you that's what happened. So if you want to update any of those and send them in again, or if you want to, just because we didn't put it up before doesn't mean that it wouldn't be fit for the site. So send whatever you got. I'll check it all out and we'll get it up on the site. As always, share us with your friends. Tell as many people as possible about us. Tell anyone who will listen to you. Random strangers on the street. This is your homework assignment, much like Fight Club. Go out and start a fight. Yes. Except instead of starting a fight, have a conversation about Nerds Online.
And you do talk about Nerds Online.
Yes, you do talk about it. You absolutely do. Don't forget that part. That's very important.
Yes, you do. Yeah, don't forget about that. Also, you gotta catch them all. I don't know if that's gonna be the ending.
Yeah, no, I think it.
Gotta catch them all.
Gotta catch them all. Gotta catch them all. Gotta catch them all. Gotta catch them all.
Yeah. Anyway.
Fuck. All right, we're
gonna put that out there. Thank you very much, and much love.
Yeah.
Much love. Or nerds out. And just have a good night. Mic drop.
Thanks for watching.
I don't know. Thank you guys.
And if you like that video, make sure you guys don't subscribe, don't share, and don't like the video. In fact, just click off and leave.
You trying to use reverse psychology on the internet?